What's up?
Hello. I don't like that. There we
There
go.
we go.
There we go. Now all is in order. What's up, Fozzie? Way early. Look, I feel like
Yes.
we're finally on time. You know,
Yep.
I feel like
Super
we were
early.
way early for like what, 2 years now? 3 years now? 4 years maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. So how are things? How's it going, sir?
You know,
Things are
well, I
going.
mean, you technically already know because we just had a
Yeah.
long old discussion on it, but you know, stressful, but not stressful.
Yeah. Life.
Moving's always stressful.
Moving is always stressful.
Yeah.
100%.
What
Well,
about you?
I put out a little video today, and then I just kept checking YouTube, and I was like, "What? Why didn't that scheduled video come out?" And then I went over to TikTok, and the whole 8-minute video was on TikTok, and I was so confused. I'll tell you what, I didn't put it out again, so I'm gonna put it out tomorrow on YouTube. But if you guys haven't checked it out, follow Crypto Nightly on Twitter. Go check it out. Basically, I made my first unprompted AI video about my experience with some of the AI that I'm using, and I've been able to create some really cool things that I'm going to be talking about in that video. So you definitely want to check it out, and you want to check out the updates that I'm going to do on how to replicate what I did, and follow along because I've been learning so many cool things. Do you know about vibe coding?
Vibe?
Vibe coding.
No.
So vibe coding is literally coding and creating things without knowing any coding knowledge. So this is using
Okay.
AI and stuff like that. And so I wanted to get into that kind of stuff because I'm starting to do it, right? I'm used to seeing these crazy numbers on invoices whenever people are gonna, make things. And so it's like, why don't I just try to do it? Right. So I've
There you
been
go.
vibe coding.
There you go.
But so everybody, make sure you're following, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. We'll have a section about how to become a expert vibe coder. And man, and there was another thing about vibe marketing, using the vibe coding to do the marketing. And so I got some big plans up here for Crypto Nightly, and everybody's going to be able to
Nice.
watch them happen as we go.
Are we talking about like creating Twitter bots and stuff like that?
Dude, everything. I want a bunch of AI agents to talk to people that we know that are in our community that like our stuff and like gauge sentiment and like all across Twitter before we make marketing campaigns or decide what the name of the show is going to be. Right. So, like, while we're working our real jobs being people, our little guys are just going to be checking everything out for us. And then we'll just get the cliff notes. It'll be great.
I mean, with the team that we have though, with all our employees, do we really want to put them out of business with some AI?
You know? I mean, like, I hate to say it, but yes, absolutely. The budget is thin around here. I'll tell you what, the budget is thin. If we've gotta drop all, 30 of our editors, and the
Yeah.
50 people in animation and production, poof,
Yeah.
you know, the 80
Yeah.
people.
The budget's so thin we can't even see it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So thank you everybody for joining us. This is Crypto Nightly. We bring you the daily news nightly, and then let you know what's going on in crypto. I guess. Well, you already know. Well, we already know. Let's see, what happens. Let's not tie ourselves to the illusion of time or anything today. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in the market, and we'll vibe it out from there. How do you feel
All
about that?
right. Before we get to that, everybody, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. If you are on X, tag some DGens, give us a repost, all that good stuff. We go live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news nightly. Let's get it. All right, here we are on CoinGecko. Let's get the freshest data. As you can see, we are still over 3 trillion. That is nice to see. It is a very big support level, but we are down 2.3% on the day. We got, here we go. We have 70 billion in trading volume, which is extremely low even for a Monday. Bitcoin dominance at 61.7% and Ethereum at 7.18%. And apparently ETH transactions are free. Okay, nice. Maybe that's why it was so cheap when I was moving crypto around earlier today. We got Bitcoin coming in at, we got Bitcoin coming in at 94,366, up 0.6 on the day. Ethereum at 1805 of 1%. We got XRP at 211, down 1.3%. BNB at 597, up 2.3. Solana at 144, up 1.3. Dogecoin at 16.9, down 0.3. And while Cardano back down to 65.97, down 1.4%, 1.5%. And Tron at 24.83, up 0.7. Let's check on SWE real quick. Still holding tough in number 13, coming in at 332, up 2.6% today. So a little bit of movement from SWE. We like to see that. Let's check our biggest gainers. BitTensor comes in with a 9% gain. We got DEXY at 4.7, Fartcoin at 4.4, Nexo at 3.2, Stacks at 2.9, Virtuals at 2.6, and Bonk at 2.8. And then it's pretty much the same. Not a lot of green, as you can tell. I mean, the whole market in general is down, but BitTensor leading the way here in the top 100. Biggest losers are going to be Athena down 6.6. And look at these top 3 losers, though. So not only are they down today, they're down major on the 7-day. We got WorldCoin getting kicked out of Indonesia, down 5.2. We got Athena down 6.6. Optimism down 4.9. Leo down 4.6. Flare down 4.7. Quant down 3.8. Aptos down 3.8. And then it just continues. Looking at TradFi.
All right, make sure to switch the tab.
I switched it. You see? Didn't even have to be told this time. So let's see what we closed the day at. So we closed down 0.25% on the Dow, 0.64 on the S&P, 0.75% NASDAQ, and the Russell K is down 0.82. And the VIX is rising. And I think everybody is getting a little nervous about this Fed meeting we got coming up. Take a look at pre-market.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. I don't know why they're getting nervous about the Fed meeting. Trump said the economy is great. You know, rates should come down.
Right.
I think he might have even been heard saying that it is the best economy we have ever had.
It's the best. It's the best it's ever been. Everybody knows it.
Everybody says it, you know.
Everybody says it.
The economists, they talk, but what do they really know?
Right. So the Dow is pretty much flat pre-market. We do got the S&P down almost 0.25, and the NASDAQ almost 0.5%, with oil in the 10-year up. Let's look at the Eastern Hemisphere, and we have Australia coming in down 0.14, not much. Japan is pumping up 1%. We got Hong Kong pretty much flat at 0.12, and Shanghai up almost 0.4%. And then we got nothing going on in India. So a couple things to look at this week. We go to our trusty Forex factory. So today we had ISM services, the PMI, and we came in above forecast. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't even know what ISM services PMI is. Let's check it out. So a level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers, excluding the manufacturing industry. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency, released monthly on the 3rd. So, it's good for currency. what it is for the broader market, I don't know. I don't know what ISM services PMI, but it did come in greater than forecast. So that's nice to see. Looks like Great Britain and Japan both have banking holidays today. But those aren't the big ones. Those aren't the big ones. So tomorrow the unemployment rate comes. That's not us. Here we are. These are what we're waiting for right
Do you
here.
think they're celebrating Cinco de Mayo?
In Japan and Great Britain? Probably
I mean,
not.
everybody likes Mexican food and beer, right?
Well, yeah, but isn't Cinco de Mayo an American holiday?
I don't know, man. I thought it was like a Mexican thing. Here we
Well,
go.
it is a
Let's find out.
Mexican holiday, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with like a battle they won. Or no, it has to do with the like
Victory
Cesar
over French
Chavez.
forces at the Battle of Puebla.
There we go. There we go. A lot of people
Mexican.
confuse it for Mexico's Independence Day, which is not. It is in September. Is
Interesting.
Mexico's
See, I
Independence
wouldn't
Day.
have known that, right?
Yeah,
So that's
it is
news
in
to me.
September.
But I did make some great guac yesterday. My parents were celebrating. They had a blast. I mixed up like 30 fresh. Listen, here's a little side piece for everybody out here. If you make margaritas, okay, you need to use 2 parts fresh lime juice, 1 part agave syrup, and then, like an ounce and a half of tequila. You shake that with some ice, and you got the best margaritas ever. No sour mix, all that stuff is out. So I mixed about 30 of those. I came home from work. There was not even any of it. 6, 7
Everybody was toasted.
senior citizens, you know what I mean? They pounded them. It's crazy.
I had some avocados today. That's
Oh, but I made some guac. The guac I made yesterday was amazing. There was only a spoon left when I got back, but I could put some chips in it. So secret is smoked salt. You put smoked salt in your guacamole, changes everything. And you got to have the lime juice and all that. But anyway,
right.
done with Cinco de Mayo talk. The Japanese and the British will appreciate that.
So, yeah, probably.
They didn't know.
So, this is what everybody's worried about. May 7th, Wednesday, is the Fed funds rate forecast at 4.5%, previous 4.5%. So they're forecasting no change, right? And then when we come here to the CME Fed Watch tool, the projection is 97.3, no rate change. And everybody at the last rate change was like, oh no, it's because it's going to be in May. It's going to be in May. And I've heard over the past week and a half, now everybody's saying, no, it's going to be at the June one. It's going to be at the June one. So they just keep kicking the can down the road. So probability is 97%. We are not getting a rate cut. And I have a big feeling that, we're going to look at the charts a little bit, and some of the stuff I've already been saying is coming to fruition. But if we don't get a rate cut on Wednesday, it could be the dump, the next dump. This could have just been a bull trap, a little relief rally. We've lost our SR level, and we get the dump, and then maybe in June we kick it back off. But if we do get a rate cut, I think it's going to go ballistic. I think we're going to go crazy if we get a rate cut.
Ballistic. I think we will go ballistic. I think Bitcoin smashes through 100K if we get a rate cut. But I just don't know. It doesn't make sense. The economy is not looking great. Okay? No. It is not looking great. You got to take off your rose-colored glasses. Yeah. The young kids won't know what that's a reference to. But
yeah, the economy looks great when you're a freaking billionaire and you don't know the price of a carton of eggs, or you think gas is $1.98. Yeah, the economy is great. You know, I
and
filled
it
my
might
truck up the other day. Filled my truck up the other day, and it still cost me $80 to fill my truck. So gas ain't $1.98.
We'll
I don't
see,
have
but
a
the
40
thing
gallon
is
tank.
that when you have that much money, maybe gas is $1.98 because you buy it by the truck full.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're buying the Shell station, and then getting it, and just charging yourself cost, maybe it is. I don't know.
We might never know, but hopefully,
Or it might be $1.98 before all the federal and state taxes they throw on top of the gas. Maybe.
yeah. Anyways, so let's see. Without further ado, I guess we'll run this and then I'll have go through headlines.
Let's do it.
Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast. All right, so I had to put this one up because we love it. So Alex Becker made this tweet yesterday. He said, Berkshire is going to buy Bitcoin, and every boomer overnight is going to become a shitcoin degenerate. Then we neckbeards will turbo dump this Ponzi on all of them and buy yachts. Stick to the plan, almost there. So I want to remind everybody what we're here for. Okay.
Yeah.
We are here for this part. But also,
well, you gotta bring it back to Raoul Paul. His saying is, don't F this up.
Don't F this up.
You got
100%.
your thesis, you've been stacking. Now is not the time to F this up.
100%. So then we got this latest. Google Wallet adds blockchain tech with ZK proofs for age and ID verification. First rollout begins in the UK and US, expanding to 50 more countries. So this means you will be able to use your Google Wallet to scan and prove your identity, like your age. So when you go into the liquor store, you know how they scan the back of your card? You're not going to need it. Now you can be like, hey, will you accept a picture of it? And they'll still say no, but they'll say, but I'll take your Google ID.
Right.
So this is cool. We like that. I'm sure that'll come to the US soon. Let's see. I can't.
Just a side note on it. That's great. Some states have like digital IDs. Like here in Arizona, I could download my digital driver's license.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But that only works in certain instances. If somebody needs my ID, like if I get pulled over, I'm not giving the cop my phone. Are you freaking crazy? Or like with our insurance cards, vehicle insurance cards, you always get a digital. Some companies won't even mail you an insurance card. It's only a digital representation.
Yep.
I'm not giving this A-hat my freaking phone for him to take back to his car and download my phone. Not happening. Physical copies, people. Physical copies.
Yeah, I support that. I think that's great. This was really great. I'm not gonna play it, but check this guy out. Aditsh, AADITSH. Follow this account, but he made this really great video on vibe marketing, which is something that we've been talking about here now. Using AI in the most efficient way possible for marketing. So I think that this was really cool. It was a really helpful video. Highly recommend you give him a follow. This is what we all been waiting for. I say this all the time. People talk about how Trump, pandering to crypto, that he's like disingenuous or that like he doesn't actually care about crypto. But my thing is, this is the first time that crypto has been the center of conversation like every single day, right? By the top of the country. And that's the most important thing, period. But here we go.
I want crypto. I think crypto is important because if we don't do it, China's going to. And
Dang, that American internet. What can I say?
it's new. It's very popular. It's very, very hot. If you look at the market, when the market went down, that stayed much stronger than other aspects of the market. But I want crypto because a lot of people, millions of people want it. I don't know if you know that Biden went after it violently, and then before the election, he changed his tune entirely. His head of the SEC.
Yes, but anyways, we get the point. This is big. President Trump says, I want crypto. Crypto is important because if we don't do it, China's going to. It's new. It's very popular. It's very hot. And that's 100% true. We love this. We love to see it. Like I said, doesn't matter what his reasons are. We love to see it. And then this guy, we love this guy. First of all, CZ is the legend. And so Fro got this awesome interview with him.
What do you think the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Oh, again, very difficult question. Somewhere between 500K to $1 million, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
This cycle.
What
That's
do you think
crazy.
the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Oh,
yeah, he said 500,000 to $1 million this cycle. And it's interesting that he says that because at the same time, I don't actually know if I have it here. I don't. But there was a post that I saw about Jack
Dorsey.
Dorsey pitching to a $18 billion sovereign wealth fund. What?
No. $1.8 trillion.
$1.8 trillion.
Norway, right? I believe it's Norway.
But a sovereign wealth fund.
Yes. Yep. Norway's sovereign wealth fund of $1.8 trillion.
Gotcha. Yep. See, that was it. I was trying to remember. See what I do. Yep. I couldn't do this alone. And so that was pretty big. But at the same time, CZ, and I think I might actually have it here, but CZ just was pitching Bitcoin and BNB reserves to another country as well. And so this is how it happens, right? The U.S. is about to make their Bitcoin reserve. We're going to see sovereign wealth funds grab the Bitcoin before the countries do, because once they see countries are about to buy their bags, they're in, right? They're in. And the sovereign wealth funds have a lot of money. Institutions are projected to get I think it's over $380 billion more in their worth of Bitcoin. Just institutions, not talking about anybody else this cycle.
Well, the prediction. So when we were looking at the price predictions the other day, didn't it say somebody's thesis was 2 to 5% institutional holding?
Yes.
Of Bitcoin.
Yep. 100%. What's up, Crypto King? Shout out
Daniel
to the GOAT. Yes, and then this, I know that everybody was so bullish on Litecoin, and this has probably destroyed everybody's bags because this is the most exciting crypto in the entire space. But the SEC just delayed its decision on Canary Capital's Spotlight ETF, Litecoin ETF. Oh, I know you're disappointed. I know that this probably ruins your entire market cycle, but hopefully one day you'll recover.
It does make me very sad.
Here was the video. It hurts. Let's see if I can get it to go for just a minute. Mind has been blown. And so I just want to share this with you. Nope, we're not even going to try. But basically, I talk about my journey. I built this really great website and I was excited about it. So there we go. And then just in, India offers 0 tariffs on pharmaceuticals, steel, and auto parts from the U.S. So maybe that's a win, right? Maybe that's a win. Well, even though we buy everything from China.
No, that's not true.
I mean,
we get a lot of stuff from India. So a lot of companies have left. So during 2020, 21, 22, when everything was getting crazy, COVID, all that stuff, a lot of companies expanded and or left China for India and Vietnam.
Dude,
So
I will say Vietnam. Okay, so here's a little bit of like some action for you guys that like clothes, that enjoy being frugal. Okay, if clothes is made in Vietnam, a lot of the times the quality is a lot better. 100%. I actually like will specifically like if I'm in clearance, like when I go to the store, I always look through clearance. If there's something that I like, I find it very quickly. But if it's from Vietnam, made in Vietnam, I buy it like almost
right.
100% of the time. So
it
check that
goes
out.
for that goes for like my industry also. So lighting, um, a lot of the lights we'll get like this. So if we get pendants, the pendants will come from either China, even though it's the same company, they may come from China, they may come from India, or they may come from Vietnam, all by the same company. And I tell you what, India's lights suck. Do not buy any light, any decorative light that comes from India, just for the simple fact that the colors are never right, the patina is always wrong. Like when we ship out lights to the job site and say it calls for 3 pendants and we ship them out, right? When you're on the job site, you can tell as soon as you pull them out of the boxes, you'll have like 2 from China and 1 from India. The ones from China, unfortunately, are the best made lights there are. And you put those up and then you put the one from India up right next to it, and it's like night and day. Even though they're all supposed to be chrome, the India ones like got rust marks on it, or it's like chipped, or Vietnam
Crazy.
or China when it comes to lights.
Vietnam, I'm telling you, dude, they're
Yeah.
doing something out there for sure. And then I don't know if you saw this announcement from Bitcoin OS, but the first bridgeless transaction, Cardano Bitcoin transaction, happened today. They displayed it, they showed it. And then so they said 12 hours remaining in this post, but it actually happened today. And that was pretty big. This is also big. Bernstein analyst projects companies worldwide could allocate, this was it, up to 33 or 330 billion to Bitcoin treasuries within 5 years. But that's not
I can see
counting
that.
just like institutions this cycle are really accumulating Bitcoin at an exponential rate. And then this was
I
just,
would go as far as to say that could be a low number. 5
I think
years
it's a
from
low
now,
number. I think
you
it's a
know,
low number. I think it's going to happen this cycle.
we could get 330 billion this cycle, but 5 years, the entire world, who knows, next cycle it might be worth 200,000-300,000.
I mean,
300
for
billion is
Pete's
not that
sake,
much.
our
Huh?
dude, Michael Saylor, our Lord and Savior, Michael Saylor, is getting like 85 billion of those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like next month. So you guys aren't bullish enough. You know, you
They
guys
did
aren't
just
bullish.
speaking of that, they did either they just bought like another, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think they bought like 100 million or another 182 million or something like that,
Or
or
something like that.
some ridiculous amount.
Oh. And I put this one on here for you because I thought you would like it.
So this step kind of blows me.
Yeah, so these are kids working in the factory where the vapes are. They're testing them out. So everybody out there, when you buy those cheap vapes from the gas station, just remember, a child in a foreign country tested it for you before you put it to your lips. And they put the little rubber thing on it so you feel like it's clean. But yeah, they're testing them.
That's disgusting. I gotta send that. That kind of looks like the vape that one of my employees smokes. I'm gonna have to, tag me in that. I'm gonna have to download and send that to.
Gosh. I did not do what I thought I was doing there.
You hit
But
reply. There we go.
well, yeah, it was. I went to a different tab. I ended up somewhere else altogether. So there was that going on. And then I wanted to show this. So first of all, did you see this article about good actors being unfairly targeted by the SEC, written by the OpenSea CEO? Is OpenSea a good actor unfairly being targeted? I don't know.
It's like
It sounds like somebody that like robbed a store, and then like afterwards they're like, the legal system is just really hard on criminals.
they're just
and I
out
don't
to
know why
get
they
me.
target people. Yeah, they're just out to get me, right? All right, buddy. You still have the ski mask on and the jewels in your pocket, bro.
Right.
Relax. So I thought that was crazy. This was really exciting, though. Chainlink is now rewarding link stakers with tokens from other projects. So you can get multi-chain tokens rewards for staking your link. So I think that's pretty bullish, and I like that. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, like, that's kind of what they're talking about that we will get from Midnight, basically, like multi-chain resources. Let's see.
Midnight. What's midnight?
Oh, well, it's this really cool privacy layer chain that is supposed to be interoperable across chains using Midgard, which is a protocol being invented by Phil and Anastasia Labs. And they're doing some cool stuff, but it's basically the same protocol that is the middleware for Bitcoin OS. So,
And it's supposed to be live the beginning of the year of 25.
Yeah. Q1 2025. But as everything is in this space,
I
I'm
don't
sure
want
next
to. I don't want to throw shade on it too much because everything Cardano related does roll out slowly. And hey, it's never went down. It's what I mean. Go slow and do it right. I understand. That's cool. But every time I hear about midnight, it reminds me of the call we
Mel.
had that one day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Remember? It's
Yeah, that's
going to be ready in 7 to 9 months. That was like
No, it was
14
like
months
6 to
ago.
7 months it was.
Oh, 6 to 7 months.
That was
And
almost
that
a year
was
ago now.
That was either in the end of 23 or the beginning, very, very beginning of 24 when we had that call.
Yeah.
So,
And it was kind of like, well, you guys better hurry up because we're almost at the end. And we were
right.
like, dang, we better hurry up.
Yeah.
Imagine if we did. Anyways, but no, they're doing some cool things over there for sure. Real exciting. And honestly, like, one of the things that I'm sort of like kind of excited about is, so Charles has been dishing out a lot of money. And I know people are like, oh, well, he has a lot of money to dish out. And they always complain that he complains about how much money he's dished out. But I want to say one thing. He has no obligation
No.
to dish out his own money. So the fact that he's doing it, like, that's great. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I don't have it, right? We don't have it. Even like the 100 of us watching right now, we don't have it, right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is, he said that he is paying developers 24/7 to only dedicate their time to Laos or the Ouroboros Laos,
Right. Yeah.
which I honestly, like, since that was said and I listened to him in a space, I think that that would be something absolutely crazy, right? If we're just all here squabbling about governance, about budgets, and like worried about, so and so tweeted this about that, and like all this stuff, and then all of a sudden your transaction has instant finality because they did it, right? Like, over the next, even 4 months, 5 months.
Right.
That I think would be one of the biggest things and very exciting, right? Your experience on Cardano would be like, Sui, I know that things take longer, but I kind of feel like the timeline was like 6 to 7 months before they were doing it 24 hours a day. So they have teams.
Right.
I mean, that.
And to get it straight, like John said, Charles has no obligation. It's his money.
Yeah.
It's his money.
Yeah.
His. He created something and got paid handsomely for it. He's a billionaire, and billionaires, screw you. Work harder. You know what I mean?
Build something that solves a problem. That's really all
Yeah.
it is. People that solve problems, those are the ones that make the money, right? If
Right.
you're just doing, a job that somebody's given for you and you're not solving problems for other people, your value is not going to be as high.
And that's true. I mean, hey, I'm broke like everybody else, but it ain't Elon's or Charles's or Michael Saylor's or Trump's, or it's none of their fault. It's my fault that you know what I mean? I'm just saying,
Well,
it really is, you know what I mean?
Actually, the fact that you said that is kind of funny because I was saying something the other day and my mom was like, "How are you going to do that?" I was like, "Mom, I'm going to just take some money out of my trust fund." She gave me the dumbest look you guys have ever seen, and my dad was just as confused. So whenever I get into a situation where I'm thinking about something, I'm like, man, I'll just take it out of my trust fund. It's okay.
Right? Ha ha!
The money that nobody knew existed.
Right?
But anyways, all right, let's hop in to check out some charts. I know you got some charts for us. Shout out to everybody that's joining us tonight. Really, there are a lot of things going on right now. It's a shame that we're so much going on.
All right, let's take a gander and see what's going on. Do we have another B-roll? Hey, before we get there, do us a favor, everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell. We go live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news nightly. And I mean, let's face it, nobody does it better than us.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, except for the people. That is not the right, huh?
I thought it was nobody does it better than us, and then that was it, right? So I only put that one up because that was the shortest one.
No, what I said when you cut me off was except for the people that do.
Yeah, except for the people that do.
All right, let's take a look. So here we are. Bitcoin on the daily. Finally, the Stokes are starting to reset. And we were talking about this all last week. I said, we got to get above 96.5. That is the SR. We did get above. I said, we got to hold it. The Stokes were overbought. We had gapped to 21 and it was just looking bad. But now the Stokes are coming back down. It looks like they may reset here in the next day or two. I mean, it could happen tomorrow, probably Wednesday. We'll get a nice reset in the Stokes and we'll turn. And you can see as soon as we lost, we printed one candle above the SR level. And as soon as we lost, boom, dump city. We jumped all the way down to a low of 93,500. So we lost about 3K in that little transition. But the 21 is coming up. So we are getting closer to the 21. This is good. And best case scenario, 21 comes up. We get a little tap. We get a reset on the Stokes. We get some bullish news on Wednesday. And then boom, we start this next leg up. Is it going to happen? I really don't think so. I mean, it's really hard to say. There's several ways you can look at this. I mean, that's probably the ugliest cup and handle, but it is possible. It could be that we are just getting rejected at that level. And this was just pretty much just a relief rally. And then boom, we're going to make another leg down and get ready for Q3, because I don't think we're going to hit big in Q2. Because even when we go out to the weekly, the Stokes, we were waiting for the Stokes. We were talking about this a couple of months ago, how the Stokes were getting, and we were getting ready to turn to go back to the upside. Well, we are going back to the upside, but you can see last week and this week, we're just kind of sitting here. And as of right now, we are printing. So we printed pretty much a shooting star last week. Does have a little bit of a tail here, but you can tell small body, big wick to the upside. And then right now the candle we're printing is pretty much like an indecision doji. And the Stokes are going up. It doesn't mean they're going to go all the way back up and go to the overbought area. When we look at the RSI is flattened out ever since one, 2. So the past 2 weeks, the RSI is flattened out. So there hasn't been any momentum outside of this major candle right here. And it just, we're barely covering the 21. So I do not see a lot of upside unless something crazy comes out. Like I said, if we do get a rate cut, and then so they're having a crypto summit tonight. There's a crypto dinner tonight. $1.5 million a plate for the crypto dinner tonight, supposedly. So
Yeah, but
that's crazy.
that's probably for the poor people. What does the
Right.
rich person plate cost?
I don't know. I'm just saying, you didn't get our tickets?
I didn't get our tickets this time. I
No,
forgot.
You had
I forgot.
one
Jeez.
job. Secure
Jeez.
our tickets.
I'll
That's
get the next
crazy.
one. I'll get that. How about you get this one? I'll get the next one.
All right. I'll take care of it when we get off the live stream. I'll take care of it. All right, I got you. But really, and then we come to the monthly. So the monthly, it does look like the Stokes have turned and want to go back up. We're bouncing off the 20, which is right at the oversold line. And when we come back down here, so the Stokes have flattened out. So it's just, I'm just not seeing a lot of like strength. We got that one big pump. Everybody went crazy, but that's all we did. We got the big pump. We got a slight little pullback, and now we're just kind of like bouncing right. And we're actually lower than that right now. And if we go back to this chart that we looked at, I think I've had this scaled out for a couple of months now. Let's bring this up. According to the chart we have here, we only have what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So end of the year, 7 months. We don't, we're supposed to be up here somewhere, because when we go on the pullbacks, I'm not going to go through the whole, I'll go through this chart again sometime again this week. Right now, I'm just going to, but we had, measured 52 weeks in the pullback. And then we did the retracements, 84%, 65 or 75%. So we just average it out, go like 65 if we continue the trend. And the 65% pullback brings us, where was it? It brought us to right here to about 84, 85. But for a 65% pullback to bring us down to that, we have to hit 237-ish way up here. And we only got 7 months to do that. So, I mean, it's still possible. I don't know if we're going to hit that number, but I do think that the short term is, we may not dump, but I don't think we're going to pump either. And I know we shouldn't be using words like think and should and could and stuff like that, but it's just the sentiment right now. You got to take sentiment into it. TA is not the only thing. We go down here. Let's see. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Make that bigger. So the 4 hour looks to be getting ready to give us a little relief. Nope. It looks like the RSI has changed. So Stokes are pointed to the upside on the 4 hour, but the RSI has hit its head off of the 14 moving average right here and has went back down. If you guys can see that right there. So we went up and we couldn't stay above it and we lost it and fell back down. So that's not showing any kind of strength. We are below the 21 and the 50. The 21's getting ready to cross the 50. So we're getting a bearish cross on that. and we can't seem to get back above the 50. You can see earlier we hit it as soon as we lost the 50 right here. So like we bounced on it, fell through it, completely lost it, could not regain it, and then came back and now printing another red candle right now. There's just no strength. We're going to need some kind of fuel, some kind of news, some kind of pressure to push us back across this and get us back above 96.5. And with the FOMC coming on Wednesday, it's just not there. Too many people are hesitant. There's a reason the VIX is up and everything like that. So, but it is a beautiful time to buy if you felt like that, oh crap, I didn't get to buy the bottom, even though everybody was telling me to buy. And then we pumped, and then damn, now SWI's at 380 and Cardano's at 77 cents. Well, you're in luck. SWI has come back down to 332, and we may fall a little further also. So we talked about this. I want to say it was on Friday. I said if we can't get above 348, we're coming down to 318. Well, we hit 318 on Saturday. So that would have been our perfect boom. Then we come back up. We hit our head again at 348, could not get back over it. And now we're dumping again, and the Stokes are in the overbought, so they're coming down. We also have the RSI below the 50, back in the bearish territory, probably going to break through this level. So I do still see some more downside for SWI. I would say that we're going to at least come back down and retest 318, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. And then if that holds again, if you're playing the range, and this is a good range to play right here, just like when we were above. So this is the 4 hour, we broke 348. This was the range. Boom. Up, down, down, and then we finally lost it, right? So it's all about playing the ranges, and I think we're coming back down to 318 on that. So there is definitely opportunity. Ondo, I will look at Ondo, Daniel. Cardano, same thing. I ended up buying some more Cardano today because, we got that pump. Boom, where we hit like 77, 76, 77, something like that. Or where was that? That was back here. No, end of March. Yeah, right here. Came up, boom. These candles, the high was like 74.5. This candle is like 74.5. And then we lost that 72, and it was the same thing. I said, if we can't get above 72, which is a major SR level, we're coming back down. And sure enough, we tested it Saturday. We couldn't get above it. Fell through the 50, fell through the 21, and now the 200 on the 4 hour is holding us. If we lose the 200 on the 4 hour, that's going to be all bad, and I would expect coming down to 59 cents. But you're in luck because the Stokes are super. What happened to my mouse? The Stokes are super oversold, and we're getting a bounce. But your RSI, just like SWI, is down here in the bearish territory, and it is turned back down. So I would look for that. And if that can't hold, that's a good short right there. So if we lose the 200, you open your short, you put your stop loss above it, and then you pick your target. My target would be 59.5. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, see, right here on the 1 hour. As soon as we lost the 200 right here, like we lost it right here, came down. We did get back above it, so you might have got stopped out. But then when it came back down, you opened it again, and then boom, money printer right there. No, no, I don't, Fozzie. So, but like I said, it's a great time to buy because, SWI just hit, could it go lower? Of course. That's the power of DCA. That's the power of putting money in. You know what I mean? It's the thesis, don't F this up. That's the thesis. Put money in. You buy in the red, sell in the green. Simple as that, or you buy and just hold. That's the way to do it. Let's look at Ondo for Daniel. Whoo, coming in at 86 cents. Oh my goodness. Not looking good. And you can see as soon as we lost the 200 on the 1 hour for Ondo, boom, we just dumped. That's a major. That's a good little dump right there. You know, 10%, 9%, 9% dump, 5x leverage, little 50 spot, little 50%, you know. So, but let's look at the daily for Ondo. I do like Ondo. Ondo is one of my biggest bags. So the daily, okay, let's see here. Looking at the daily, Stokes have reset, super oversold. You can see we haven't been this oversold. Like if we come across, let's draw a line right there. Where are we at? Alt H. Okay, so let's backtrack this a little bit. Let's bring this down so we can actually see. Let's see what these have brought in us. Boom, oversold here. That was a major run up. Oversold here. Can't see it. So oversold, oversold, oversold. Boom, run up. You know, oversold, oversold, run up. Okay, oversold. We tried to get back up, wouldn't, so it turned. We came back down further. Then we got the little pump, the little relief. And then right here, it looks like we tried. We couldn't get it. And then right here, boom, up, up. So I can see Ondo making a little bit of a pump. We are right on. If we were down on the daily, we are right. This is actually the POC. See how the red line pops up? That is your point of control when it comes to your VRVP over here on the side. And it usually lands on a high volume node, which we are on a high volume node on the daily. So could definitely see us with the Stokes being reset. I don't know. The RSI's turned down and in the bearish territory. I would need to see it get back, bounce off the 50, get above the 21 and above this POC. And I would say we probably at least come back and wick up to 103, you know, but that's going to be, I mean, that's a ugly cup and handle, but I mean, whoops. Boom. You know, something like that. So, but I do like Ondo. I do think it's going to do real well. I don't think because that's has to do with BlackRock and Biddle and RWAs, and I don't see anything that they have their hands in failing. You know, they're out to make money. So let's go down. Let's look for some more intermediate action. So, ooh, we are losing the 200 on the 4 hour, which isn't good. Let's see here. So this may be, this isn't looking good. All your lower time frames are showing bearishness. Stokes are coming back down. Your 14 moving averages below the 50 in the bearish territory, and so is the RSI, and it's below the moving average on the 1 hour. You've lost the 200. You know, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, you lost the 200. Everything's turned down, turned down. 3 hour, turned down, lost. We did, ooh, it looks like we're getting a death cross on the 3 hour. The 50 is getting ready to cross the 200 and a death cross. Everything. This could be a double bottom, though, right here on the 3 hour. That would be something to watch. I don't think it is. I think it's looking at this. I think we're going to go down a little bit more. If we can't get back above the 200, at least on the 4 hour, let's see, what does the 8 hour look like? and we've lost it on the 8 hour, and then the daily, obviously we are below it on the daily. So yeah, definitely looking bearish. I definitely see some more downside for Ondo, but it's not something I'd be too worried about. I may have to pick some more up. If we get down into the 70s, I will definitely be picking up some more Ondo. I will be scraping up some money to pick up some more Ondo if we get down in the 70s. So yeah, there's just no strength right now. You know what I mean? And we could ride, even though that's why it's good to look at the lower time frames. Cause like I said, on the daily, we're oversold, we're reset. And you would think we get a bounce off the 50 and back above the 21 that we're going to go back up. But when you look at the smaller time frames, the more micro view, it's all bearish too. And it's the small time frames that turn the bigger time frames bullish. You know what I mean? The daily can't go up unless the minute goes up.
Yeah.
So, you think of it that way and you work your way through the time frames. Because even if we come down to the 15, so we're below the 200, fighting with the 200. Stokes have reset, RSI's turned up, and we go down to the 1 minute, even the 1 minute, we've lost the 200. Stokes are down. We could probably work our way through every time frame, and we are below the 200. So it's definitely bearish. It's a bear trend, and until it turns, that's all she wrote.
I gotcha. I actually have one thing that I feel like I should pull up just to share it.
Let's do it.
Oh, geez. Of course, I got my message it open. Let's see. All right.
Yes, close the messages. The world does not need to know about your fetishes.
It's true. It's true. All right. So, Sneck Figures. Sneck Figures is coming out soon. So follow Sneck Figures for the updates. But
that is
what?
Why add to stage? There we go. Nope. Stop. There you go. Now you're good.
All right. So as I was saying, Sneck Figures are coming soon. Follow Sneck Figures for updates. But one of my favorite artists in the whole space shared this with me and asked me to share it. So they're going to have basically a sale of not NFTs. He specifically said not NFTs. I believe this might be like physical items, right? He couldn't give me too much information, but the artist is the same artist that we have for Omens, who made those really cool Noah and the different collectibles, the physical statues. Yeah.
Okay.
So Victor from Omen, I believe he's doing these as well. And so these will be purchasable in ADA, SNEC, and USDC.
And of course, it doesn't light up enough for you to actually see what's in the dispensing machine and the vending machine.
Yeah.
There we go. Right there. Stop it right there.
Yeah. You don't know. Can't quite tell. But I think this would be cool. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. He told me that it is based, all the figures are based on memes from the SNEC community.
Nice.
So if you're deep in the SNEC community, if you're a big fan of SNEC, also if you're a big fan of that artist in particular who has made some amazing productions, definitely something to keep an eye on and look at. I support him. Should be having him on for an interview at some point. But that was the last little thing. He asked if I could share it on Twitter. I thought I would share it here too. And I asked him to give me a little alpha, and so that was the only alpha he could give me, is that it's not an NFT, right? And
I kind of kick myself for not getting the Omen figurines.
Right? They were so nice and high quality.
And I almost, because it was like, what was it? If you bought one, what was it? They had 5 and 8 inch, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
If you bought the one, you got a free NFT.
Yep.
If you bought like the package, you got like 2 NFTs. And I was like, well,
The package made sense because at the time the price was cheaper.
yeah. And I ended up buying some NFTs. I mean, I hold some ordinals, some Omen ordinals.
Same.
And it's like, I don't know. But I got the Omen Keystone wallet, which is still in the box.
Which is
I
crazy.
still haven't. I'm not because I'm not dealing with anything right now as far as like that. I'm doing real minimal when it comes because of everything I got going on. But when I get set up and everything like that, eventually I will fire
Do
up
a
the
Keystone unboxing.
Yeah. I just don't want to. I don't want to have to move stuff off my ledger. It's bad enough moving stuff around on hot wallets, let alone having to move stuff from hardware wallets and cold wallets
100%.
or whatever. Yeah.
I feel you. But that's what we got for you guys tonight. Thank you all for joining us. This is Crypto Nightly. We bring you the daily news nightly. You get a little bit of everything without having to be constantly connected to the internet, right? So
Right.
thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. We do this. We come live 7 p.m. PST, Monday through Friday, and we bring you the daily news nightly. So without further ado, we'll see you tomorrow night. And make sure you follow all the socials. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok. Why did I want to say Facebook? And then after I thought Facebook, the next thing that came to mind was MySpace, you know? But anyways, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. You all have a blessed night. Peace. Join us at Rare Evo, the top blockchain conference, August 6th through 10th, 2025, at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The top blockchain projects like Algorand, Midnight, HBAR, ICP, Thorchain, and Igon, and many more are going to be there. This is definitely a must for blockchain enthusiasts and fans. Use discount code CryptoNightly to save on your tickets and to support the channel. Don't miss it. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a blast.